Hello, I think we're live, and I hope you can see me because last week I forgot to put my camera on, but now this time, you learn from your mistakes, and here I am, I'm doing the checking, which I knew I should have done before. Well, hi everyone, we are live, and our topic today is how to add the right friends. But before we go any further, please drop me a hashtag live if you're watching now and a hashtag replay if you're catching this later. And it'd be nice to know where you're watching from if this is the first time that you've joined me. So we're talking about how to add the right friends and stop wasting time. Because adding friends isn't networking. Adding friends is actually positioning. Networking is random, positioning is intentional. Now, when I add friends, that's when Facebook lets me, and they're only letting me add 4 right now. But even with that 4, I'm not collecting numbers or hoping someone notices me. I'm placing myself in front of the right people. People who already care about what I talk about, people who already want the results I help with, and people who are already buying things like this. That's why I don't chase reach. I don't wait for algorithms, and I don't accept friend requests on the whole. The thing is, who you add determines who sees your posts, who messages you, and who buys. And these are all 3 very important things. So the thing you have to do is add with intention, and the rest gets easier. And most people are adding whoever pops up and then wondering why nothing's converting. Well, this live is about choosing people on purpose. So why random growth doesn't work? Most people will add anyone who breathes, accept any requests, and chase the numbers. Then they complain they have no engagement, no conversations, and no buyers. It's not the algorithm, it's who you're surrounding yourself with. So at the very beginning, you start with what you're selling. And this is before Facebook, before groups, before friend requests. Ask, what problem does my offer solve? Who actually needs this, and what stage are they at? If you don't know who you help, you can't recognize them when you see them. So where do you find the right people? Because your people already exist. They're in relevant groups, they're commenting on pages that you follow, and they're engaging in conversations that match your niche. And when you go to these groups, you're not there to pitch, you're there to observe and connect. And that is pretty much a standard rule for most groups. So before you do anything, you need to do your profile check. And this is where most people skip and regret it later. And I did this in the beginning. I just accepted. And it wasn't until later that I realized I had people that were not relevant to anything I was doing. So run your checklist and don't be like me. Real person. Start with, they have a profile picture. On my profile picture, when I started, I put a cake my daughter made for me. And someone actually very kindly gave me a bit of advice and said, take that away, because how can you build trust if you don't put a picture of yourself up there? So that's the first thing that's important to remember when you are profiling people you might be adding to your friends list. So real person, they have a profile picture, no spam behavior, ideally no crypto or trading focus, something I stay clear away from. Low mutual friends. You don't want to be connecting with people where they've got hundreds of mutual friends with you, because those people have all heard the pitch before. So you want low mutual friends. And when you go into the Facebook groups, it's the box that's marked members with things in common. And you want to pick the ones that I would say between 1 and 15. And then you want to look at what countries they're from. Are they from a country that they can actually afford to buy? And also no red flags in their biography or their content. If they don't talk, if they don't look like someone you can help, don't add them. For example, if someone's profile is full of crypto charts or luxury car photos and DM me for signals, I don't add them. And it's not particularly because there's anything wrong with them, but because they're not the person I help. I help people who are trying to build something real, people who are learning, people who are showing up even if they're still finding their feet. So I wouldn't start a conversation with them about business, all these other people with their cryptos and the flashy cars. I wouldn't talk to them about freedom or income. They're not my person. And you have to remember that's not being picky, that's positioning. When you add people you can serve, everything else is noise. And it's just that simple. So it's really well worth taking your time on this. You know, if it only takes 3 minutes to check someone's profile, not even that. And if they've got a link in their profile, I'll often click on the link as well to see what they're actually promoting or selling. Now, why does this work better when you do it properly? First of all, your inbox stays clean. Conversations feel natural and people don't feel defensive. And the best thing is you stop chasing and you start attracting. Bottom line is you're not convincing, you're connecting. So growth isn't about people or isn't about more people. It's about better people. And when you're intentional with who you add, everything else becomes easier. So if you have any questions on anything there, please drop them in the comments. I'll answer them now, or I will come back to them later if anybody has anything that they're wondering about. I'll just give it a couple of minutes while we wait. I feel so much better today remembering to switch on my camera. I couldn't believe that I did that last week. Very silly of me. Makes me chuckle when I think back. Went through the whole training with a blank screen. Okay, guys, looks like we've got no questions. If you find this valuable, drop a hashtag value in the comments below. And I appreciate you watching. And I will see you on the next one. Have a lovely weekend.